Calendar of Tales by Neil Gaiman. January Tale. Whap! Is it always like this? The kid seemed disoriented. He was glancing around the room, unfocused. That would get him killed if he wasn't careful. 12 tapped him on the arm. Nope, not always. If there's any trouble, it will come from up there. He pointed to an attic door in the ceiling above them. The door was askew, and the darkness waited behind it like an eye. Kid nodded, then he said, "How long have we got? Together? Maybe another 10 minutes. One thing I kept asking them at base, they wouldn't answer. They said I'd see for myself. Who are they?" 12 didn't answer. Something had changed ever so slightly in the darkness of the attic above them. He touched his finger to his lips, then raised his weapon and indicated for the kid to do likewise. They came tumbling down from the attic hole, brick grey and mold green, sharp-toothed and fast, so fast. The kid was still fumbling at the trigger when 12 started shooting, and he took them out, all 5 of them, before the kid could fire a shot. He glanced to his left. The kid was shaking. "There you go," he said. What are they?" What or who, same thing. They're the enemy. Slipping in at the edges of time, right now at handover. They're going to be coming up in force. They walked down the stairs. They were in a small suburban house. A woman and a man sat in the kitchen at a table with a bottle of champagne upon it. They did not appear to notice the 2 men in uniform who walked through the room. The woman was pouring the champagne. The kid's uniform was crisp and dark blue and looked unworn. His year glass hung on his belt, full of pale sand. 12's uniform was frayed and faded to a bluish grey, patched up where it had been sliced into or ripped or burned. They reached the kitchen door and whap! They were outside in the forest, somewhere very cold indeed. "Down!" called 12. The sharp thing went over their heads and crashed into a tree behind them. The kid said, "I thought you said it wasn't always like this." 12 shrugged. "Where are they coming from?" "Time," said 12. "They're hiding behind the seconds, trying to get in." In the forest close to them, something went whump, and the tall fir tree began to burn with a flickering copper-green flame. "Where are they?" "Above us again. They're normally above you or beneath you." They came down like sparks from a sparkler, beautiful and white and possibly slightly dangerous. The kid was getting the hang of it. This time the 2 of them fired together. "Did they brief you?" asked 12 as they landed. The sparks looked less beautiful and much more dangerous. "Not really. They just told me that it was only for a year." 12 barely paused to reload. He was grizzled and scared. The kid looked barely old enough to pick up a weapon. "Did they tell you that a year would be a lifetime?" The kid shook his head. 12 remembered when he was a kid like this, his uniform clean and unburned. He had ever been so fresh-faced, so innocent. He dealt with 5 of the spark demons. The kid took care of the remaining 3. "So it's a year of fighting," said the kid. "Second by second," said 12. Whap! The wave crashed on the beach. It was hot here. A southern hemisphere January. It was still night, though. Above them fireworks hung in the sky, unmoving. 12 checked his year glass. There were only a couple of grains left. He was almost done. He scanned the beach, the waves, the rocks. "I don't see it," he said. "I do," said the kid. It rose from the sea as he pointed, something huge beyond the mind's holding, all bulk and malevolent vastness. All tentacles and claws, and it roared as it rose. 12 had the rocket launcher off his back and over his shoulder. He fired it and watched as flame blossomed on the creature's body. "Biggest I've seen yet," he said. "Maybe they saved the best for last." "Hey," said the kid, "I'm only at the beginning." It came for them then, crab claws flailing and snapping, tentacles lashing, maw opening and vainly closing. They sprinted up the sandy ridge. The kid was faster than 12. He was young, but sometimes that's an advantage. 12's hip ached and he stumbled. His final grain of sand was falling through the year glass when something, a tentacle he figured, wrapped itself around his leg, and he fell. He looked up. The kid was standing on the ridge, feet planted like they teach you in boot camp, holding a rocket launcher of unfamiliar design, something after 12's time he assumed. He began mentally to say his goodbyes as he was hauled down the beach, sand scraping his face, and then a dull bang, and the tentacle was ripped from his leg as the creature was blown backwards into the sea. He was tumbling through the air as the final grain fell, and midnight took him. 12 opened its eyes in the place the old years go. 14 helped him down from the daze. "How'd it go?" asked 1914. She wore a floor-length white skirt and long white gloves. "They're getting more dangerous every year," said 2012. "The seconds and the things behind them. But I like the new kid. I think he's going to do fine."